back to Astrology, Angels, and More. I'm your host, Mary Silvernail, and today is August the 14th, 2024. Now, on August the 22nd, 2019 was our first show of Astrology, Angels, and More. So this is our 5th anniversary show, which is extremely special, especially to Brian and I. Brian LaPayor, the producer, and I. So now on August 16th, 2019 is when the show name Astrology, Angels, and More was actually conceived. So we're very excited about this. We've had some wonderful guests over the years, and tonight I have a guest who has been with us previously, and she's going to be giving you a lot of very interesting astronomical information. So tonight you're going to be getting astrology and you're going to be getting astronomy. So first of all, though, I would like to wish a happy birthday to Leo, all you Leos out there. Leo is the 5th sign of the zodiac with the sun as its ruler. Gold is the color associated with the sign of Leo. Leos are the proudest sign of the zodiac, Leo the lion. Many times they're proud to a fault, sometimes. So other characteristics of Leo are loyalty, faithfulness, and they can be a little bit shy. You know, they really lead with their heart. Faithfulness, and they can be, just like I said, a little bit shy. But many performers are born under the sign of Leo. Leo rules the heart chakra and all matters concerning the heart. Their gems are gold and rhodochrosite. I wrote it here and I have a hard time pronouncing it. It's RHODOCHROSITE. But Leos love gold. The Lionsgate portal, which happened on 8/8, and actually this year, because it's 2024, in numerology, 2024 equals another 8. So it was 888. So what happened there was an alignment of the stars, and it brought in a lot of tremendous cosmic energy that we're going to be going into in the show a little bit later with our astronomer. That's our guest. So now on August the 19th, we're going to be experiencing the Aquarius full moon. And what that indicates is patience, tolerance, and understanding is needed at that time in relationships especially. Even if you think you know better, it may not be better for the other person's individual soul's journey. Common ground may exist even if it is not obvious at first. The moon will be in opposition to the sun and Mercury and making a T-square with Uranus, which can create a sudden change in thinking. You might suddenly change your mind about things that you thought you were really set on. When planets are in fixed signs, it can mean a risk of an entrenched position, seeing it from only one point of view. Allow further discussions to occur, which can create healing, understanding, and a meeting of the minds. Now, August the 4th, which has already passed, but to August the 27th, Mercury retrograde. So we're right now in the middle of a Mercury retrograde. Mercury will be retrograde in Virgo until August 14th, then we'll move into Leo until August 27th. This is a time to be cautious of all misunderstandings, especially in romantic relationships because of the sign that it's in. The pre-retrograde shadow actually had began on July 16th, and the after shadow will leave September the 11th. Now, Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto continue to be retrograde throughout August. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 planets retrograde right now. Now, Aries. It's full speed ahead in the love department for you now. Aries, it's time to let your lover know your real, true feelings. Taurus, your home is your haven. Now is the time to beautify and create a retreat and escape and re-energize. Peace and tranquility are key ingredients to keep Tauruses happy. I should know, I'm a Taurus. So, Gemini, expect abundance from your work environment and you will receive it. Have faith and you will move forward in a most positive manner. Cancer, there are no more holdbacks regarding your finances, Cancerians. Your mind is quick and sharp. Now is the time for investments. Beautiful Leo, happy birthday again, Leo. It's your month to shine. Plus, you are the flavor of the month, and everyone wants your fun, loving attention, especially with this month's new moon that has already passed. That was on August the 4th. It puts you on a rewarding life's path. Think back to 10 days ago. What was going on and where you are even now, because you're on a very rewarding path. Now, Virgo, by month's end, be ready for new beginnings in many areas of your life, especially your new positive outlook and abundant, healthy energy. Libra, a friendship may turn to a love ship now. Go with romantic flow and enjoy a summer fling. Scorpio, your mind is on far off places. You're dreaming of a tranquil vacation that is very much long overdue. Make your dreams come true, Scorpio. Sagittarius, short trips bring luck. Listen to a wise older relative's advice. There is much to be said for not putting the cart before the horse, as you do most of the time. You know you do, Sag. Capricorn, money, money, money. That is the focus in your stars this month. It's time to review your finances and see what can benefit you most. Aquarius, don't allow your partner to keep you from realizing your dreams. It is time to go for it. Pisces, an associate opens your mind to new ideas. Your third eye is wide open, so trust your intuition. Before I introduce our wonderful guests tonight, I would also like to wish Christine Chavone on behalf of Brian and myself, and I know everyone at the studio here, a very happy 25th anniversary of her show, Spiritual Exploration. Okay, now, without further ado, I'm very excited about interviewing this wonderful, knowledgeable guest, Pat Brady. Welcome, Pat. Wonderful astronomer.
Thank you for having me. Okay, there are a lot of things that have been going on this past month. We've just passed the Perseus meteor showers. It passed.
Yeah.
It's okay. There are other meteor showers that are coming up, and people can always look it up, the monthly meteor showers. We have in October the Draconoids, or Draconoid, in the constellation of Draco the Dragon.
Oh, wow.
That's coming up in October, 7th to 8th. And also the Orionids on October 20th, 21st, the Orionids. So what does that mean when I say Orionids and Draconoids and Perseids? Well, there are constellations up there in the sky, and all these have been categorized by astronomers. That's where the meteors emanate, and we can see them in the northern hemisphere. We've got the Leonids in the constellation of Leo, and that's coming up November 16th to the 17th. And also in December, the Geminids in the constellation of Gemini. Okay, that's coming up. January, Quadriids, and it's not a powerful one, but it's there.
We'll be able to see it?
Absolutely.
Oh.
But some of them you can see a little bit more often, like the Perseids are supposed to be 100 per hour of a shower of the comets that are passing by.
That's the one that just happened, right?
That's
Yeah,
the
I was
one.
telling you, I know, I kept telling you this, but my husband was so excited about seeing it. He was in upstate New York, and he saw it, and he was just telling me how miraculous. It was just beautiful.
It is. It's
Yeah, because when you're up in the mountains, you can really see it.
you sit back, and you need time. Your eyes have to adjust, and if you are able to do that or out near the water, it's very dark, you can see these meteor showers. The last one I would like to talk to you about is the Lyrids, and that's in the constellation of Lyra, the harp.
Oh.
So if you know where your constellations are, you would be able to actually pinpoint where the radiant is coming from. But even if you don't know, you can actually see these streaks across the sky. So that comes up all the time. Every month there is a meteor shower. Depending on if the moon is bright, sometimes you can't see it because that lights up the sky.
Well, you were talking about the full moon before we started the show. Well, we were both talking about the full moon, but you had some other things to add about the full moon, you were telling me.
Yeah, the full moon is coming up August 19th, and it's called a super full blue moon. But it's not the second moon of the month, but it actually is about 1 month prior to when July was. So they're putting a middle in this blue moon phase because it gives way to the future of the full blue moons coming up. It will be a super full moon. It will be a little bit closer to the Earth, so it'll be a little bit bigger.
Better to say.
It's called the perigee, closer to the Earth where we are. So once that comes up, let me see, at I think it's about 2 p.m., around that time, up in the horizon, you'll see it if you're looking in the east, you'll be able to see it, and it'll be big. It'll be close.
I love that.
You can take pictures. There's so many things you can see when you're actually studying these phenomena.
Well, it'll be in the east, which I live at the Jersey Shore, as you know. And so I'll be able to see it over the water probably, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this. Okay. And the energy that moon carries, everything that I talked about astrologically, it's going to be like on steroids due to the fact that it's a super moon. That's the way I view it.
Absolutely. You have to realize the apparent path of the sun comes up in the east and it sets in the west. That's where the moon will be coming up. So if you're up in the morning and you see where the sun is coming up, rising, that moon is going to be right up around there, within 9 degrees on the side. So you have to imagine a lot of things, apparent path of the sun. And that's how astronomers can find some of the constellations and some of the celestial objects that are up in the sky. So with that, I just want to just quickly go over the some of the circumpolar constellations, which is very, very important if you're trying to study the night sky. You have Ursa Minor, the little bear, and it's pointing to Polaris. It's right there with Polaris at the tail. You've got the Ursa Major, the Big Dipper. That's the next circumpolar. You have Draco the dragon. Everything is dragons and war up in the sky.
Oh, no.
And then you have two other ones. Cepheus, that's where the king, that the astrologers would say to the king, that's your house up in the heavens, because there are all diamonds there and you're with the jewels. So the king looked forward to passing on because he knew he was going to go that way.
I just love the mythology behind the stars, too, you know?
It's
Just
so,
love it.
There's so much to talk about. And underneath Cepheus, the king's house, is Cassiopeia. And you can see that up in the northern part of our hemisphere. And she was the queen from the king. She wasn't a good queen, but she's up there because king and queen, they belong up there. And if you go further down to the southern part, you would be able to see some of the other constellations like Perseus. Pegasus is right near you.
Yeah, right over my head.
There it is. There it
But
is.
there you have the right by you. Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's nice.
Thanks, Brian. Thank you.
Oh, you
That's
have
great. So you were just talking about the queen,
the
right?
queen. There's Cassiopeia.
Yeah.
And Perseus is right below her because he was part of the family of gods. And he was a warrior. And he was one, there's a big story on it, so I'm just giving you a few words on it. He was the greatest Greek hero, slayer of monsters before Hercules. So he goes back before Hercules.
Yeah.
And what happened was Andromeda was one of the relatives of these gods. And she, Poseidon, was another god of the water, of the sea. You've heard of the
Yes.
Poseidon Adventure?
Oh,
the king of the sea?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
But he was mean, and he had a lot of maidens around him. But he found out that that some of these people, like what's her name, Andromeda, was more beautiful than whatever he had. So he wanted her. So they tied her up, and he was going after her. But Perseus stepped in, and he slayed, and he brought back the Poseidon god. Poseidon never captured her, but Perseus loved her. So the shield, anything he had on him, the sword was magical. And there was nothing, nobody could break it, no gods could break it because Zeus was involved also. So he saved the kingdom of Ethiopia because Poseidon wanted it all. But Perseus took care of that. And in other stories, Medusa was one of the other constellations. She's up there in the sky. Perseus had to get her because she was another evil person. But he had all the shields and the swords. So he got to slay her. And he cut her head off, and he presented it to the gods, to one of the other kings. If you look at Medusa, you turn to stone.
Yes.
And she had all snakes in her hair.
Yeah.
But Perseus was the one that got her.
Oh.
So there was a lot to do with Perseus. That's why he's up there in the sky. And that's where this Perseid meteor shower is. It follows the comet's path, and we get all the little particles from the tail, the stones and the frozen parts. and also its gaseous tail, and we can see it. You have to just know when to look and where to look. So there's a lot to it with our meteor showers, and if viewers want to see the heavens, you can actually download an app called Stellarium, and it brings up all the constellations and the stars. So just one more note on that. Charles Messier, he was French, 1700s. He was one of the first people that categorized. He was a comet hunter. And what he did was he saw all these other objects that got in his way. So he started to catalog it. So if you're ever looking up at the sky, I don't think it has it on there. You'll have your alpha star, but you'll see an M next to one of the stars. And those are the Messier catalogs that he started.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting.
And it's only a tip of the iceberg, but we don't have that much time.
No. Please continue. You have a lot of information. Can you tell me a little bit more about Pegasus?
Pegasus is the winged horse, and that was one of the gods. The Great Square, it's called, because that's the body. And if you do look up in Stellarium, and even just putting in Pegasus, you'll see the horse is there with the tail and the wings. You see it when we look at the movies, some of them, Pegasus is running in the beginning. That's where they got it from, Pegasus, the winged horse. And it was a good horse. It was good. It was like one of the parts of the gods. So
I love Pegasus. I was telling you before, in my office I have a big picture. I've had that for many years of Pegasus.
it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I feel it's very lucky.
Now, we don't see Perseus up there. We have to imagine it. And that's what the astrologers did. They pointed it out to the king and queen, and then they had to draw the images. And because they had to tell the story to the king. Otherwise, we don't know what that is. Pegasus is there. Does that look like a horse? But no, if you have the whole outline of Pegasus or Perseus, you can see what they look like.
Yeah.
And
like Orion's belt, right?
correct. Orion's belt is one of the famous ones. We see it in the northern hemisphere in the wintertime. And that belt is lined up with this gate here that we're going to be talking about.
Oh, okay.
And let's see, there are many, many depictions of mythology that can be talked about, because that's all the astrologers knew, and they wanted to convey it to the king. So they were on the court. The astrologers were right there. And if you know the tarot cards, you have the king and queen,
That's right.
and you have your court. And the astrologers were one of the first ones. You have your lawyers, the ones that give messages. You have your joker. They were all there. And it's all part of astrology. So everything branches out. The more you know, the more it branches.
Yeah, that's right. It's connected. It's really connected. But you were going to be talking about, because we just had the Lionsgate, okay? So that was a tremendous amount of energy that actually we're still even feeling. But maybe you could talk a little bit about it.
Well, I have a few words I can say.
Sure, go ahead.
The Lionsgate, and not too many people realize it, but it brings out an energy. And where Orion's sword is, and Sirius the dog star, were all in line with the sun. And the Egyptians used that alignment to build some of the pyramids.
Yeah.
And you see it with Raiders of the Lost Ark, some of those scenes. That's where they get it from. It's all in alignment. The dog days of August with Sirius is there. And I just want to point out, Leo, that you mentioned, if you are ever at a star party, how do you find Leo? It looks like a coat hanger. And what that is the mane of the lion with the paws and the stars that are around it. So astronomers say, well, you got to just look up at the coat hanger. You see it. There it is. And you'll go, oh, that is Leo. It doesn't look like a lion because we're just looking at the stars. But if you can bring those characters out, there's nothing like it.
Well, you know, the Lionsgate, Orion and Sirius and the sun are all aligned with the three pyramids.
That's right.
And that's what opens up the portal of the energies that come in. And that's a beautiful time to manifest, to wish for what you would like to create. It just really is.
It's very empowering.
Yes.
You know, people get a surge of they want to do something, and it's the time to do it. If you're in a situation where life is okay, but, you know, I want more, you go for it. This is the time right now.
That's the truth.
You take a class, you can broaden your vision and your knowledge. This is the time to do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Full agreement. I'm in full agreement with you. This is the time. And especially anything that you want to change in your life, that you've been putting off changing in your life.
Yeah.
This is now the time to do it because of the immense energy that comes in. Absolutely.
This is the time to, like, improve your health, get your health in order. This is it, because if there's something the matter, they'll find it. You know, they'll look for it, and they can cure it. You know, there's hope there.
Yeah, well, the portal is open. It's still open even now, and it's just on 8/8/2024 was exactly when it was so powerful. But the thing is that the heavens open, and one of the things that I love, because I love the angels, I'm very connected with the angels, is how I view that the angels have even more of an opening of the heavens to earth to send all that angelic, healing, powerful energy to us as the occupants here on earth, and the animals, and Mother Earth. And Mother Earth, very nice.
Very important to be aware and to bring up your knowledge a little bit more to learn. So also, there are other things. This is the time where you said you explore spirituality. You know, these angels come in and the heavens open up. You have to envision it, though. Some people just don't get it. And it's only for people that are open-minded that they can feel that these energies are really flowing on Earth. So,
sometimes people aren't open-minded, or they're perhaps uneducated about it, but they just know that something's going on, and they aren't sure what it is, and, you know, they just feel different. You know, but if you educate yourself, as you're saying, Pat, okay, then you would be able to enjoy the full scope of it.
Absolutely. And it's also a time to reflect on the past. Because, you know, we all have our past, good, bad, ugly. And what you want to try to do is improve. If there was something that you wanted to accomplish, this is the time to think about it and to do it. That's the main thing.
That is. And even sometimes to possibly close doors from your past. Have that closure, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in a relationship and you know it's not right, or you want to break away and you're thinking about it, all right, give it some time. You know, don't do a break right away. But you have to give it some time, and this is the time to do your meditation. This is it.
Yeah, sure. For sure. The heavens are open. Here it is. Yes.
And I was just in Sedona, And I mean, I did a lot of meditation, especially when I saw the rainbow that I showed you.
Yeah, beautiful picture. Yeah.
Very nice.
You were so blessed to get that rainbow
I felt
in
it.
Sedona. Oh my goodness.
I felt it.
Yeah, when you showed me that picture, I could see the energy in the rainbow. I mean, even more so. It looked that is some picture.
I was telling people around, I said, look at the rainbow. Look, you have to see it. And they were amazed.
Yeah, beautiful. It was beautiful. Beautiful what you showed me. Yeah.
So
Love Sedona. You and I both love Sedona so much.
I love Sedona. That's one of my favorite places.
Yep, me too.
So a lot has to do with, it's with Leo right now and Sirius, the dog star. And actually, I had one of the dogs that was down at 9/11. The dog's name was Sirius. He was a rescue dog.
Oh.
And I had that dog on my show, The Attack on American Freedom, which will be coming up at the end of August and September. So I love when that dog was there. And, I just hugged the dog. And New Year's Eve, I was at a party, and there's that million people. And I said, I don't know anybody here. And I spotted the dog. And I hugged the dog. The police officer and the dog I knew. There was the only two things that I saw. But I love that dog.
So special. Very special.
So, meaningful events coming up. If you want to do something, you want to travel, be a little cautious. I mean, this is a world we're living in, but it's a time to travel. If you want to see some area which you haven't been and it's in your blood, you do it. This is the time to do things.
Yes, it is.
So as far as the angels, now the angels come out and open up our own spirit.
Absolutely. But it just seems more powerful at that time because the portal to the heavens is open. It's wide open, And so it's just a much more powerfully energetic time, which makes it extremely angelic. And so if you want to connect with your angel, this would be a great time to do it. For sure. But, they're always there waiting for you. So anytime that you would like to call upon your angel, you just simply do that. I had a lady I was talking to the other day, and, I could just relate so well to this. And she was sharing with me, she said when she was a little girl, she was 5 years old, and she had heard about her guardian angel, but she asked her mother, well, how do I meet my guardian angel? And her mother said, just ask your guardian angel to come to you. Simple. And the little girl did, and guess what? Her guardian angel came to her. She actually could hear the angel speaking. Yeah. Well, when I was 4 years old was the first time that I met my guardian angel. So then when I was talking to this lady the other day, and she was telling me, she said, Mary, I actually heard his voice. She said, I actually heard his voice. I'm here. And she said after that, she felt so safe and sound, knowing that her angel is real and is really there. And she was only 5 years old. So sweet, you know.
What's the name of your angel?
My guardian angel?
Yeah.
I don't usually share it, but sometimes I do, but I will. Archangel Uriel.
Uriel.
Yeah. Uriel is the one who follows right behind Michael into battle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that goes back in time. I'm thinking of all the angels and archangels.
Oh, yeah.
So
Archangel Uriel.
I know, and some people don't believe in it, but that's
Right.
their look. You
That's up
believe,
to
you don't
them.
want to believe, that's fine.
Right.
But this is a very spiritual show, and it opens up your vision. It opens up creativity, especially at this time. So, we have to just keep going on and on in our lives, go forward, look back once in a while with your roots, and just try to improve on it.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Pat. Excellent advice. That's
So
what we do, and we always keep moving ahead.
there's a lot out there. There are events, celestial events coming up,
Oh,
and people should look on the internet, see what's going on. And you can always go to an observatory
yeah.
and take a look at some of the stars and some of the constellations that are out there. One of the first times I went in the 70s was in Miami, and I was with my son, and we're online in Miami University. I'm holding my son, and Larry Zonka was in back of me, the football player,
Really?
with his family.
Wow.
So you never know who you're going to meet.
Never know.
What was the event was looking at Saturn.
The rings of Saturn.
I couldn't believe it. I said, "No, you put a picture there." He says, "No, that's Saturn."
Yeah.
And I
It's
always,
real.
you just don't know. I mean, when you're first seeing it, these big giants, how did it get to be so big? I had to know that. I had to ask some of the astronomers. But think about it, if it's so big and it's turning, it's revolving, and it's far away from the sun, those gases do not burn out. They stay there, and they get bigger and bigger, and you have your rings there that are captured with the gravity that are around it. I didn't know that. I had to ask. I asked a lot of questions, let me tell you. When I see things and I don't understand, I always ask.
How about Jupiter?
Jupiter is one of the biggest planets in our solar system. Now, Galileo was around a few hundred years ago, and he had this interesting story about him. He used to look at the moon. He loved looking at the moon. And eventually he goes blind, but before that, he's walking in Italy, and he finds these little pieces of lens. And he starts putting the two lenses together, and he sees that it's magnified. So he loves looking at the moon. He goes to the observatory, and he sees that some of the areas on the moon had different things to them. Mm-hmm. He thought, well, maybe the dark area looked like an ocean. The mare. He's telling the king this at the Pope.
Right.
And the Pope said, okay, that's good. There's some mountains there. There's some craters. There's all these different areas there that have different parts to the moon. And he starts naming them. He says, but I need a powerful scope. How am I going to do that? The king says, well, just go to the treasury and build yourself a scope. Now, there were people that have, I can't even think of the names, they had the ocular little to look at Shakespeare. So here's Galileo, and he starts putting these things together. The king gives him a green light to get some gold, to melt it down, and he builds, I think there's 4 of them. And if anybody ever goes to Lowell Observatory in Flagstaff, Arizona, Percival Lowell has one of them. I mean, he's gone. You'll see his little dome where they laid him to rest. But you can actually see one of Galileo's scopes.
Oh, my goodness.
And what did he do?
Oh, my goodness. I need to go.
He put it in it was long, and in a wooden box, like a mahogany, and the background was black because the astrologers thought that the background was black and it had diamonds in it. So he just laid his scope to rest, and you can see it. I saw it. I can tell you that. And it amazes you. It just amazes you. Lowell was over in New England. He made a lot of money doing the shipping. He got bored. Well, where do you go when you get bored? You go out west where the sky is dark. So he goes up to the mountain. They named it Lowell Observatory after him. They do a lot of research. And I was just up there. They have new telescopes, which is nice. But I saw all the old ones a few times. It's a nice tour. It's worth the trip because some of the the new astronomers coming up, and they start talking about the right ascendant declination, apparent path of the sun. And I'm like, I just sit there and I go, wow, they're good. They're good. And most people don't realize they have the knowledge. They know what they're talking about. Lowell Observatory in Flagstaff. That's where I got this T-shirt. So looking at the sky, it's endless. I mean, we briefly talk about things. We talk about the zodiac signs. So we did the circumpolar, and then the zodiac signs are next, below the circumpolar. A circumpolar means that those constellations are constantly revolving around Polaris, the North Star. So it's very interesting if you have the time and you want to know about the stars and some of the celestial events coming up. Okay, there it is.
It's amazing when you see a meteor shower, how it feels.
Can't tell you. I've seen a few, and some of them are bigger because they don't disintegrate, so you can see streaks across, and some of them are like bowl-eyed, like it's like a candle, like a Roman candle that comes down.
Yeah.
So that's astronomy. See, I love it. I can't get enough of it. And you start going out of the solar system. See, the Spitzer Space Telescope is up there also with some of the comets and some of the celestial events. But you have the new one, the James Webb Space Telescope. That's the one. That one there has been launched for a few years now. It should have been launched a while ago, but the budget ran out. But they did launch it, and that space telescope, can see through some of the planets, and it goes out of the solar system and looks for exoplanets outside of the solar system.
There is so much more out there than we know. Oh my goodness, vast. Yeah.
And that's only the tip of it. They're building more. So as astronomy goes forward, people who are into physics, into like some of these famous astronomers would actually, you're right on target with all this, with measuring and the distance. I don't know. I just love it.
Me too. My life has been the stars. Yours too. But I'm an astrologer. You're an astronomer.
I get a little bit of astrology.
I know that.
A little bit.
I know you do. I'm very aware of that. But what mostly you practice is astronomy, and what I practice is astrology. I don't have all that knowledge that you have for the scientific part of it. That's how I view it, okay, and the mythology, which I find so interesting just listening to you speak about it, Pat, I recently I had seen something on the news about this. Did you hear this about how they discovered water on Mars?
I did see a splash of it. Of course, when the planets were forming, comets were hitting, brought water, covered over time, just like Earth, but we have our water from the comets. So over time, things build up and the water goes deeper into the planet. You have a permafrost with Mars, the northern part and the southern part. So They're doing a lot of research. They are trying to find if there was life in the past. They're taking samples to see if there's anything that has been captured in the permafrost.
Wow.
A lot of research doing.
Big deal.
There's only, and Jupiter has one of the moons, Io, Europa.
Yes.
Here's Galileo. Oh, this looks like Europa, one of the 4 Galilean satellites. Look like Europe. It's got water. It does have water. Underneath the clouds and gases, there is water. Okay, it didn't get there yet. Astronomy is the future for traveling, space travel.
Yes.
So The Martian is a good movie. I don't know if you've seen it, where some of the astronauts, it's fictional, it's not real, but these astronauts are doing research on Mars, and a windstorm comes up.
I saw that movie. Yeah, I saw that.
It was incredible.
Yes.
It's a good movie.
Yes.
If you have time to see
Yes,
it.
I agree. I agree.
And it happens. I mean, we have our windstorm over in the desert. It'll last a few days, maybe. But on Mars, it can last for months because the air is thin and it doesn't leave. So if you get captured in one of those storms, you're there.
Forget about it, right?
And that's what happened to one of them.
Wow. Yeah, that was a very good movie, I do say. Yes, that really, really was. I mean, and there's so much going on right now. I mean, there's 2 people that are
Trapped.
trapped up
Yeah.
there right now.
They'll get down there.
They will. They'll get them back down.
There are a lot of things that can go wrong when you're trying to save somebody's life. Mm-hmm. And there have been tragedies in the past. Astronauts going up, explosions. So they have to get it down right. But they will. And the people that are there, they're enjoying themselves. They're having a good time. Okay, you get homesick a little bit, but hey, look, you're there. You're history. You're part of history.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And I think, let me see.
Oh, okay. The time flies when you're
Isn't
having
it?
fun.
Yeah, because I thought Brian was motioning to me, but no. Yeah, we're still. Oh,
Excuse me?
hi, Brian. Hi,
Brian.
come on. Oh,
Brian.
Everybody, here's Brian.
Yes.
He's the producer of the show. Absolutely, producer of Astrology, Angels, and More. Hey, Brian.
Mary, how are you?
Nice surprise.
Thank
You're
you,
actually on camera this
Thank you.
time, honey.
Thank you. I'm
Welcome.
Sorry I came
Here,
in, though.
let's
Usually,
move. Let's
I just
move
wanna
this
announce that
angel.
most producers usually, don't come, onto the set unless they really have to, make a stoppage or something, happen that
Yeah.
we go back and done the segment though. And I just wanted to announce that this episode marks the 5th year
Oh,
of Astrology,
Brian.
Angels and More. And as Barry explained in the beginning, though, the title was created on August 16th, Friday, August 16th, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't do the first show till the following week of I think it was either Wednesday, Thursday, August 21st, 22nd.
22nd. I think it was the 22nd, Brian.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did mark it down in this
Yeah.
thing. And our first show we had on both Christine Javon, Spiritual Exploration, and Tom Science Templar, though. I also want to bring up the fact that this program here is a spin-off from Christine Javon's Spiritual Exploration during that Christine Javon, period. How they have the era, how the Price Right had Barbara era, though, and had Drew Carey's host on there. So we're basically in there, on a technicality, though. We're actually kind of basically the 4th spin-off of an era, believe it or not, of Christine Javon's era speculation.
Well, actually, because wasn't hers the first spiritual show?
I'm going to explain
The
the why
angel.
4th right now, though. Christine's first spin-off she had with previous guest Chris George was Second Sight. That was one short-lived spin-off too. A second one came off of actually with Perseus. Second one was with Blanca Bayer. Her guru name is Lavania. She had a spiritual program called Spiritual Teachings. So that was basically, the second spin-off of that. Tommy's Knights Templar, God's Way, Yatave, is actually a third. So we actually pulled on the 4th, and then the new title, Spiritual Journeys TV, is actually the 5th.
The 5th? Yeah.
5 out of 25.
A lot of fives,
It is
right?
a lot of fives,
Yeah,
though.
a lot of fives, Brian.
Yeah, and of course, this is Patricia's second time
Yes.
on the show. I
Actually, oh no, it was Tommy's show the first
Right.
time. That
Yeah.
was years ago.
Years ago.
I think it's
Right.
like 10 years. I think it's coming up 10 years.
10 years, that's
So
it.
anyway,
Yeah.
so this is our 5th year. I want to present, well, first off here, I have a card for you.
Oh my, Brian, you
Yeah.
sweetie.
Yeah, go ahead, read the
Oh,
card. Go ahead,
read
put
the card?
Read it, read it.
Put the card up, read it up.
Okay, read it. Okay, gotta put on my glasses. Wow. Cheers to our anniversary.
Okay.
To Mary Silvernail, wishing you another year of happiness, friendship, and love. Happy 5th anniversary. From Brian LePayor, producer, Astrology, Angels, and more. Come here, Brian.
Okay.
Oh, you sweetheart. Thank
I also
you.
have something else too.
Thank you, Brian.
A reusable sticky pad to use for around the office and everything.
Oh, isn't that cool?
Very
but that's-
practical.
Very
practical.
practical.
That's not the main gift.
Oh, I
though.
love it.
That's not the
Yeah,
main,
that
it's
is
not-
so
it's not the
cool.
main gift, though.
Brian,
I
you're
actually-
so cute.
I like to present something else too, which usually
What?
love to do because I'm the producer of a show though. And anyway, Mary, I like to present you with a plaque.
Oh my God,
Let me read this out to you, to everybody right here. Let me like.
Brian.
Yes, I know I didn't have to though, but I'm.
No, you sure didn't.
So anyway, I put the words down. 5 years of hosting, presented to Mary Silvernail, worldwide esoteric astrologer, board certified clinical hypnotherapist. Thank you for all of the contributions you have made in making this program successful. Astrology, Angels, and more.
Oh,
August of
Brian.
2024.
You're making her cry.
You, Brian.
Happiness. Happiness.
Brian, I love you so much,
love you too,
honey. Oh, you're such a good friend to me, Brian. Thank you.
Yes.
If it wasn't for you, though, we wouldn't have the show.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I actually.
He's the producer, the director. I mean,
Portable
wow.
producer.
Yes.
Portable audio. The show, because this is the first show in the series I've ever done, actually in a both in the studio and portable production.
Oh yeah, we've done a lot of them, right?
Yes, a couple of
A
them.
lot of
About-
them.
I think about 7. I believe 7.
Yeah, yeah.
Couple specials that's also portable.
Yeah.
And usually when my previous program, a lot of people report, it was all mostly done in studio. I did about a total of 64 programs.
Brian is amazing. He's very, very talented. You know, talented director, talented producer. He's talented. He just, you know, he makes everything go so smoothly and perfectly. Thank you so much, and thank you, Brian, for giving me the opportunity to be
Absolutely.
the host
Yes.
on your show, because that's the truth. Brian and I,
has
we make a great team.
He has a great heart.
Yes, he
and
does. I love Brian.
It will come back. Good
So
things will come
special.
back.
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking
Oh.
astrology. Once you start empowering other people, it'll
correct.
come right back to you
That's true too.
tenfold.
That's why Brian and I do the show, Pat. You know, it's because we want to give information out there to empower people, to help them on their journey, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And that's why we invite beautiful guests like you. Look how knowledgeable you are. I mean, my goodness, you've been an astronomer for how many years?
A lot.
A lot. Oh, she won't say, but a
Okay, I
long,
mean,
long time.
You want the date?
Long time. And, you know, I mean, and that's why we're very particular about the guests that we bring on the show. But we always try to, like what we do is astrology. Okay. It always starts out with the astrology.
Right.
And then we go into the angels, always have our angels. And then the more is always something else, like tonight, astronomy, right? The astronomical events that are coming up for the rest of 2024. You're amazing, Pat. I love listening to you
Well,
talk.
you know, one of these days we may talk about some of the zodiac constellations that are up there. People can argue about astrology and astronomy, but the constellations are up there and all the signs are up there. So they can't argue at all because
Smack
astrology.
me 5. Smack me 5. It's the truth, right?
That's true.
So it's right there.
And
all
just
the
remember,
seasons.
Orion's belt is only just stars. That's it, 3 stars.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you can
right.
see it during the winter months. It'll be coming up. You just try to look to the north. If you have a compass and you're looking north, it's there.
That was when I first started asking questions about the stars to my father. He showed me Orion's belt and the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper. I guess most kids, that's what they learn first.
Okay, well, that's
But
my
Brian,
time, though.
this is great.
Yes.
Thank you. I love it. I love it. I love it. I
Beautiful
love it.
thing.
Yes.
Isn't
Very
it
nice.
beautiful?
Oh, God, that's nice, Brian.
Brian.
Cool.
And it's blue. It's my favorite color.
It's
Brian,
beautiful.
thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
You're such a sweetheart.
Thank you. Let
Can't
me get out
believe
there.
it.
I got to finish up the
Okay.
time of the show.
Very
Okay.
nice.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you. Let me get this down right there.
Thank you so much.
Oh, watch out for the constellations.
Oh, yeah.
Boom.
Aw, wasn't that
that-
sweet? Yeah. Oh, we're almost
at it.
done. So anything else that you would like to add, Pat, please?
Just keep looking up at the sky. If you don't know what it is, where it is, you can download Stellarium, and you want to know about constellations, it's there. Events are coming up. They're not going away.
Yeah.
So we have some of the meteor showers coming up. Look them up and just be ready for them.
Yes.
So
Thank you so much for coming tonight. Really.
I love
Thank you.
astrology too, you know.
I know. Oh, I'm very aware. Well, our first connection was actually through astrology because you're a wonderful astrologer yourself. I know you are.
A little bit.
I know.
bit.
I know a little bit. I
do-
can't help but love it.
Yeah, I
but-
mean, I do use the ephemeris.
Yes.
Just like you.
Yes.
There it is.
Oh, yeah.
Ephemeris.
Oh yeah.
So this is one of the tools that
And what is that? So that you can explain to them what is that? That shows 50 years of planets' movements,
That's
right?
2000 to 250.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at your chart, you can explore what planets are up there. You go to an astrologer, they put it down on paper. The difference is astronomers don't look down, and the astrologers, there's a hard,
I know.
you know,
I
this-
get it.
so it's there, it's been there, and
Thank
hopefully-
you. And I want to thank our audience for watching our show. And it's just been a tremendous 5 years. And I'm sure we'll be talking again another 5 years when our 10th anniversary comes up. But thank you so much for viewing. You can watch our show on channel 35 FiOS and channel 79 Spectrum, and all the shows are on YouTube. Thank you. God bless you. Many, many, many bright blessings. Thank you.
thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you so much, Pat.